Tonight on Emmerdale, the battle for control at Home Farm reaches a tipping point as Kim Tate takes bold and drastic steps to protect her legacy. But will it be enough to secure her future? Meanwhile, Joe Tate drops a shocking surprise that threatens Robert Sugden's livelihood, just days after the significant changes at Butlers Farm. The stakes are higher than ever, and emotions are running wild. Here's what's coming up in tonight's episode. Kim Tate, ever the queen of Home Farm, finds herself cornered and in need of an ally. After crossing paths with Ross at the Woolpack, a conversation about their brief working relationship last year leads Kim to recognize his potential. Ross had defended her against Chass's recent outburst, and Kim sees this as an opportunity to use him for her own benefit. She hires him as the director of operations at Home Farm, giving him a clear mandate to oversee security and protect her interests. The job comes with high stakes, and Kim is determined not to let anything slip through her fingers. But will Ross be able to rise to the challenge, or will his past mistakes come back to haunt him once more? Ross's arrival at Home Farm, however, doesn't go down well with everyone. Joe, Dawn, and Graham all react badly to his presence, especially when Ross's playful but provocative nature stirs up trouble. He can't resist pushing people's buttons, winding them up, and creating friction where there was already tension. But Gabby seems to take a liking to him, making it clear that not everyone shares Joe and Graham's disapproval. As Ross clashes with Dawn, the tension escalates even further, with Joe and Graham both warning him to stay in line. But Ross is far from intimidated and seems determined to stir things up, bringing even more chaos to an already volatile situation. As the storm clouds gather over Home Farm, Kim and Graham's rivalry intensifies. The simmering tension finally boils over when the two engage in a heated argument about who has more to fear from an impending revenge attempt. Kim asserts that Graham has few allies left and should be on high alert, but Graham fires back, pointing out that Kim's own position in the village is hardly secure. Both are facing enemies on all sides, and neither is backing down. The confrontation leaves us wondering just how far they will go to take each other down, and what will happen next as the stakes continue to rise. Meanwhile, Robert Sugden faces a crisis of his own. Joe Tate's revelation that he plans to sell the cattle herd at Butlers Farm sends Robert into a panic. He had assumed that the cattle were included in the tenant farm deal, but the small print in his contract suggests otherwise. Without the cattle, Robert fears that the farm could go under, and he warns Aaron that their livelihood is at risk. The realization hits hard, and Robert scrambles to figure out a way to save the farm. With everything on the line, Robert faces a race against time to protect Butlers Farm and their future. Back at the depot, Jai finds himself in a difficult spot when Caleb orders him to give Kerry a formal warning for her recent lack of effort at work. Jai knows that he has to maintain his cover while reprimanding Kerry, all while keeping their secret affair under wraps. It's a painful moment for Jai as he's forced to call Kerry into his office and reprimand her in front of Caleb, knowing that the situation could complicate their personal lives even further. Kerry, who's been slacking lately, is less than impressed with Jai's sudden change in behavior, and the tension between them is palpable. Will Kerry take the warning in stride? Or will the confrontation have more lasting consequences on their secret relationship? The drama continues to unfold at Home Farm and Butlers Farm, with Kim Tate pulling the strings to protect her empire, while Robert Sugden fights to keep his farm from falling apart. With tensions rising and tempers flaring, it's clear that the battle for control is far from over. Don't miss tonight's explosive episode of Emmerdale. Hit subscribe to stay updated with all the latest twists, turns, and drama as it unfolds.